Welcome. Allow me to tell you a story. A story of my long, unexpected journey to collect the Shroudbreaker and the first tall tale of Sea of Thieves.
One moment. You do well to heed my warning, for this is no ordinary voyage you're contemplating. Few pirates have even heard of the shores of gold, let alone seen them with their own eyes. They say it's an island riddled with untold riches, ancient secrets, hidden tombs, and deadly traps. But you won't find it on any map, for it was swallowed up by the mists of the Devil's Shroud. This book is the journal of the pirate lord himself. It tells of his first ship, the Magpie's Wing, and the journey he took to find the mythical Shroudbreaker, the only way to part the fog and reach the shores of gold. If you dare to follow in the footsteps of the greatest pirate who ever lived, then take the journal and use it to find the wreck of the Magpie's Wing. It holds clues to the Shroudbreaker's whereabouts. Bring it to me, and I'll set you on your way to the shores of gold. But don't be fooled. Only the bravest, strongest pirates will make it back alive. I wish you luck. You're going to need it.
Upon starting my journey, I had received a mysterious book, Journal of the Pirate Lord, Voyage for the Shroudbreaker, 9th Summer of Sea of Thieves. Another journey, another journal, the shores of gold, a great secret, an island of treasure swallowed by the Devil's Shroud. Ancients could reach new islands through the mists. There may be more to find in the ancient isles. We will start there. Artifacts of the ancients, found after days of scouring islands. Very old chest, still as good as new. Totem inside, animal totem, more than a statue, a key. The key to the Shroudbreaker, sell to the secret places. Use totem, take Shroudbreaker, drink, shores of gold, drink. Ambush, the burning blade came for us. We are no match for her infernal cannons. I made my choice. Into the sea went the chest. The ship's log will help us find it again. No one else shall take it. We will lure them into the wilds away from the chest. We made our stand in the shallows of an uncharted isle, the jagged spires of crooked masts to the fore, old crooks hollow to the aft. My beloved Magpie's Wing lost, and with her my dreams of the shores of gold. The ship's log went down with the ship. Without it, we can't reclaim the chest. Another may yet claim the Shroudbreaker. As I try to make sense of this book, I had to find out where exactly was the uncharted isle to find this magpie. Connecting the islands that were mentioned in the book, I came to a possible conclusion of where this uncharted isle was, and so I began my journey. Unsure if the location I chose had the uncharted isle, I saw what I was possibly looking for. So I checked the map. I soon realized that my predictions were exactly right. As I rushed the island, weary of the storm that was heading in my direction, I didn't notice how close I was sailing to the island, so I ended up hitting the sandbar. Scouring the island, I saw no sign of a magpie or anything in my favor. So I decided to look underwater. And there it is, a sunken ship that was mentioned in the book. After countless minutes of looking all over the ship, I finally found what I was looking for. So I rushed back to my ship, curious what new information these new pages would tell me. Magpie's Wing ship log. The Magpie's Wing. Anchoring down on the north side of Discovery Ridge, captain's gone ashore. Their burning blade, we are fleeing to the northeast. They are turning to pursue. Passing a huge island, continuing southeast. Burning blade pursuing. Dropping chests in the waters just west of a small island, heading southeast. Coming up on a chain of islands, laying a new course east. Their burning blade is gaining. They will soon catch us. As I stand staring at this book, I realize that I had to retrace the steps of a magpie to retrieve the chest that was dropped to the west of a mysterious island. And after retracing those steps, I realized that the mysterious island was Fool's Lagoon. After scouring the island a bit, I find the chest exactly west of the island. Excited to see what's inside, I take it back to my ship. And of course, inside the chest were more pages to follow, but these pages were different. These pages had pictures and symbols, but what could they mean? Could the page on the left be drawings of islands? Because if it is, it's pointing exactly where I was the first time. So I end up making my journey back to see if there was anything I've missed. As soon as I arrived, I find a barnacled captain's chest, but this surely cannot be what I was looking for. I decided to go underwater where the sunken ship was again, but this time I found a cave. Spending a good 15 minutes looking around the cave, I have found nothing that could have been of value to me. But then I see a door with a slot for a key. But where could I find this key? Did I miss something that was a part of the voyage? Did I do something wrong? I quickly searched through my inventory to see if there was anything of use in there. Back on my ship, I looked through the book to see if there was a solution to my problem. I decided to go to Steven's spoils to see if the key was there. In the distance, I could see another player's ship. Unsure if it was a brig or a galleon, either way I had to stay away from it. After arriving at Steven's spoils, I realized it was just a seed post, so I took a search around just to make sure, and while I was swimming back to my ship, I see a galleon coming my way. Unsure if this ship was trying to be friendly, I decided to stick around to see what they wanted. Seeing that they were trying to harpoon me in, I realized that they were here to kill me. Being a veteran sloop sailor that I am, I wasn't worried about getting caught. It was just a matter of losing them. Knowing that a sloop is faster against the wind than a galleon, I was determined to lose them. But after no less than an hour, the galleon proved to be persistent, so I came up with another plan. My plan was to somehow get on their ship so I could slow them down. I noticed that they had an abundance of food in their barrels, so I decided that I was going to try to eat all of it. After wreaking havoc on their ship, I made a mistake and went point blank with somebody with the blunderbuss. Realizing how terrible they were, I decided to taunt them on the death ship. But I knew that by the time I spawned back at my ship, it could already have been destroyed with everything in it. But I was wrong. My ship has still been sailing, untouched, unharmed. Now with the galleon off my back, I'm able to go back to the island and continue my voyage. Minutes later, I realized that the galleon was still following me. I decided to let them continue following me, so I continued to sail against the wind. After 30 minutes, they were still behind me, so I decided to try to juke them. My plan worked. They ended up crashing into a giant rock. Maybe this is the last time I'll hear from them. After all that time, they finally decided to leave me alone. But while watching them leave, a thought had crossed my mind. I decided to check this chest that I found from the book. And there I found the key that I needed for the cave. How could I have been so stupid to not check if there was anything else besides those pages in that chest? And now there's only one thing to do, and that's to return to the island with the cave. Finally, after all that time coming back to the island, I find that galleon again, but it's chasing another sloop. I decided to take that opportunity to go ahead and do what I need to do. After lighting the flames, I have been locked in, and water is pouring down. Water starting to fill the surface of the room. I had to act quick. Matching the symbols on the pillars to the symbols on the book seemed to work. And finally, I finished it. Could this be it to get the Shroudbreaker? Unfortunately, it wasn't enough. I had to find 3 medallions to finally open the door to get the treasure. Finally, after turning in the third medallion, I was able to open the door. And there it is, the Shroudbreaker sitting on a pedestal. Holding the Shroudbreaker in my hands, I was upset with myself for turning a 45-minute voyage into a 3-hour voyage. Nevertheless, time to turn this in. On the way to the outpost, I celebrated by getting drunk on some grog. But then another problem arose. A massive megalodon has came out of the water. Being drunk, there's not much I can do, and I was too far from any islands to deter the beast away from me. Luckily, I arrived at the outpost without getting bit by the shark. Finally, after all this time, I was finished with the voyage.
Great Ramsay's ghost. I heard all the stories, but to actually hold the Shroudbreaker in my hands, I never thought I'd see the day. Something's wrong. There should be 4 jewels set in the base that grant the Shroudbreaker its power, but they've been removed. Without them, you won't last 5 minutes in that fog. Now let me think. I did hear tell that Captain Briggsy made it to the shores of gold. If that's true, she might know the whereabouts of these missing stones. Not that she'd ever say. Sometimes, even the best pirates fall victim to their greed or hatred, and it changes them, strips the flesh from their bones, gives them power, but twists them up inside. Briggsy is one such abomination. People call them skeleton lords, and most pirates flee at their approach. Not even the Order of Souls dares challenge them, and rightly so. But you are going to have to hunt one down. I have eyes and ears across the Sea of Thieves. If you gather any of the missing pieces, I'll see they're restored to the Shroudbreaker on your behalf. For now, head to Plunder Outpost and speak with Madame Olivia about Briggsy's whereabouts. Remember, skeleton lords are not to be taken lightly.
After turning in the Shroudbreaker, I realized my voyage was long from over.